You want a fight?
It was no chimney, I'll say that much.
Spaghetti carbonara.
Everything that person said is wrong.
It's just fudding herself stupid.
Hello, this is Well That Went Well, the question and answers session. And Tom Walker is just finishing. You join us as he's finishing.
I've got chocolate almond.
Okay,
Got to keep the energy up.
Right, so I will let you finish eating that. A story about almonds. So obviously we'll get to your question.
Story about almonds. That's what you all tuned in for, isn't it?
So when my mum, this is quite actually a bleak story, but I remember when my mum got diagnosed with lung cancer, right? My agent at the time, there you go, that'll get the engagement up. My agent at the time, I said to him, look, I won't be able to do this gig because, I'm going to take her to the appointment. And he said, so she's got lung cancer. I was like, yeah. He went, does she eat enough almonds? One of the most fucking bizarre things anybody has ever
Everyone's
said.
got. Can you? How insensitive as well. Well, it's her own fault for not eating enough almonds.
Well, I think he was big into homeopathy,
right,
as well. So
such an insult, isn't it?
Yeah. Does she eat almond shaming?
Yeah. Yeah, but I've got a lump the size of a football. It's like, have you tried lavender under your pillow?
Yeah, exactly. Has she tried the old rose hip? So there you go,
chamomile tea,
a little almond story. So these are all responding to stuff that you questions that you've left in the comments here. So yes, obviously the usual stuff: subscribe, like, hype, all that sort of stuff. And then Tomathan is going to lead us off with the questions.
All right, mate. Martin Stevens 4633. A man after my own heart. Why is football the most popular sport in the world? At the professional level, cheating is rife. Every time the ball goes out of play, the nearest player sticks their hand up, claiming possession, throw-in, shirt pulling, diving, the list goes on. How can it be that this is popular when cheating is such a fundamental part of the game?
So I bet you, I'm going to get, what was that guy's name again? Do you remember? Because I'm going to guess.
Martin Stevens.
I'm going to get Martin was one of those guys that, it's almost like, well, how could people have voted for Brexit? It's like, if you don't get it. You don't sort of get it. I am a football fan, but the older I get, I hate it. I hate the emotions that it brings out of me because, when you do Little League, you see what it does to people. But it's a form of gambling. It's the more you invest in it, that balloon is getting bigger and bigger. And, will it pop? That's a terrible metaphor.
It is. You lost me.
Yeah. No, the point is it's so weird. You get a football, you'll hear like Portsmouth fans sing about Southampton fans about a trade union dispute in the 1880s. Yeah. And you just go, just be honest. You just want to hate another entity.
I think there are a couple of... it's a point that Martin doesn't point out, but that factionalism that you don't necessarily get in other sports. I mean, there are some sports where you all sort of... You sit with the other team. Do you know what I mean? You go to American sport, everyone's just all hanging out together. So I don't like that factionalism.
You don't get in tennis. I mean, if you had like Coco Gauff fans kicking off with Serena fans.
A big sort of metal wall between tennis fans.
Yeah, imagine that as centre court. I mean, but then in a way, this is its own answer. I watched the men's and women's singles finals this year. Mm-hmm. Boring as shit.
I love a bit
because
of tennis,
there was no chance of people getting...
Because there was no fighting.
There was no chance of people getting kicked in the head.
For me, Martin has hit the nail on the head. The reason I don't enjoy watching Soccerball, as I call it, just to make sure everyone knows I hate it, it is the cheating of it, right? It's the rolling around, blah, blah, and that is inbuilt into the game, right? Now, I am not a sporty person, but I do quite like watching like the Six Nations rugby. What is enjoyable about rugby is, one, it's a high-scoring game, whereas I think football is low-scoring, and therefore it's really frustrating. Imagine going all the way to Anfield to sit there for 2 hours and nothing happens.
But
so
that's
you
the
leave
balloon.
There and you want a fight at the end of that. Because
that's the balloon. That's the balloon waiting to pop.
No, I just don't quite get it. But I read something somewhere, and VAR was very, obviously when it came in was controversial, still kind of is. But I read an article about it going, the problem is if it's so exact, then that stops people talking about it. People want the controversy after a game so that they can talk about it ad nauseum for a week and go, that was never offside.
No,
that was never
that's a really
goal.
good point. But you know that chat has now gone to who exactly was sitting in that van parked around the corner looking at a video. Right. All it's done is transferred to a group of blokes sitting in a data centre in fucking Shropshire.
I just think like in a contact sport like rugby, you don't cheat because if you do cheat in rugby, someone's going to get killed.
Yeah.
But also the aggression comes out because it's a physical.
Yeah.
Whereas this sort of dancing around, this is my impression of a football player.
That is what they're like now.
They're just like that now. But it's so unsporting. And if you look at Argentina's reaction to losing a game, let's beat each other up, and also every time the referee makes a decision, it's two people going up to him, going, you don't do that in rugby. The referee summons the two captains.
There's everything about this. You want camp sport, is what you want.
Yeah. But it is. Come here, and if someone's done something wrong, the referee talks to the captain. And goes, sort your man out. I'm not talking to him. You
am I? Chopped liver. That's what we need. We need camp referees.
We need camp. Well, also they quite often wear pink these days. So,
but the truth is, there's no explanation. It's so complex as to why football is the most popular sport in the world. Aesthetically, I think we've had this chat before. Tennis, aesthetically, in terms of gameplay, I mean, it's just a beautiful sport to watch, tennis. But they don't have any ultras. That's what you need. You need the idea that a flare is going to get set off.
I also think that it's a team sport of individuals. Once you get the ball, it's individual skill, move it on. Whereas what I quite like again about rugby is it feels like it's about territory. Whereas with soccer, you can just suddenly out of nowhere go boring, and then suddenly someone scores a goal. Whereas you can sort of anticipate a score on rugby. It's sort of, I don't know.
You said soccer.
I did it on purpose.
Let's move on.
Okay. In your own estimation, this is from A. Lloyd RH. In your own estimation, what percentage of politicians are genuinely trying to make the UK a better place to live? And when I want to I'm going to suggest politicians, elected officials, right? So councillors, MPs, that kind of thing. What percentage are genuinely trying to make the UK a better place to live?
It's tricky because in my line of work, I do a show on Times Radio as well, so I do meet quite a lot of politicians. I generally try to be quite positive about them. The shark eyes ones, within a second of being in the room, the old music is going straight away. There are mostly I've quite liked them. There's only a few of them that I've met from across the political spectrum. When you get the vibes are off, and that's across the political spectrum. I've met ones from each party like that. I think mostly. I mean, it's a difficult question because that will never just be their only motive. But I think most of them are all right.
I think most people certainly enter politics, or if you're going into local government, I doubt you're doing it. There seems to be a goodwill behind it. Obviously, everyone most people are corruptible in one way, shape or form. And also that sort of...
But being a parish councillor wouldn't be the best way of getting weighed in if you wanted to.
But that sort of wide-eyed kind of utopian... It must be... Westminster must wear you down, the realities of it and the compromises you have to make. I think most politicians... Are trying to do it for the better. And even it's difficult when someone's doing something that you fundamentally disagree with to believe that their intentions aren't evil. You know what I mean? That even people who are fundamentally disagree with you go, I disagree with their tax policy, but I believe that they believe it's the right thing.
Well, that is a big left-right thing, isn't it? Yeah. So when I look at the left, I think that the most that they're often guilty of, although on the hard left, there are some generally mendacious people, and some, the kind of new Labour Blairites as well to an extent. But I generally think that they're sort of utopian. They've just got the wrong end of the stick. The thing is, the left view and the right, there often is a more active assessment that you want people to die. I mean, it's the same as during COVID, wasn't it? If you sort of said, maybe these lockdowns have gone on a bit too long and they're a bit strict.
Yeah. You want to let the bodies pile high.
Yeah. That was the problem, rather than that there was a difficult, pragmatic assessment to make. One thing I'd just say about being a backbench MP, because you've probably had this yourself, is if you do this kind of comedy, people go, have you ever thought about going into politics? Fuck no. Because the reason anyone would be in politics, I would just want to make the backbench speech for the ages, where I go, and then it goes viral. I wouldn't want to sit with some old dear and talk about a boiler going wrong.
Yeah, and also sort of like committees and I think the thing you need to watch out for politicians is obviously in the higher they get, the chances are the more ambitious that politician is, and ambition can be a good thing because you can have ambition to make a difference, ambition to change the country, but it can also be self-serving. And I would suggest perhaps someone like Boris Johnson, there seemed to be an element of self-servingness. I think Farage is self-serving. That's not just because I disagree with them politically. There's something about them. That's when it becomes dangerous, when it becomes cult-like. And
I've seen that a few. The only times I've seen that, the worst one I've seen that is around Nicola Sturgeon. It was people literally bowed in front of her.
Yeah.
Like the cult-like element. Around Boris Johnson, it wasn't even as strong as that. No. There was an element
not unless you were Nadine Dorris, just fudding herself stupid, watching every speech.
Okay. I think we should do another question.
Nadine
she was
Dorris.
a fan, let's put it like that.
Who can pronounce... I got a lot of this. I said Minutiae the other day, and who can pronounce Minutiae the best? And it's Minutiae.
Well, I mean, it's funny because they've gone into the minutiae of Minutiae.
Minutiae.
Yeah.
Is there a right in there? Is there a wrong? I'm sure you're all about to tell us.
Sounds like a restaurant.
Minutiae seemed right to me.
Minutiae... rice and noodles.
And what's the other one? Minutiae.
Minutiae, yeah.
Do you know what minutiae sounds like? You know when people go to a French restaurant, an Italian restaurant, and they go, I'll have the spaghetti carbonara.
Yeah.
And you just go, just spaghetti carbonara.
At the Pomodoro.
Yes. Yeah. I would like the steak frites. I would like some wine. I'm so bad at accents.
This is an interesting thing. It's slightly tangential, but it'd be good to get responses to this. I've had a theory for a while that there's a kind of word, this is sort of not related, but sort of, is that doesn't sound like the thing that it describes, right? So the word mezzanine,
yes.
Have we had this chat before?
It's the opposite of onomatopoeic, right?
Yeah. So what is the word for that? I think, so it's mezzanine's an example. It sounds like a drug from the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Instead of a middle floor.
Yeah.
Gazebo sounds like an exotic bird rather than a little weird thing that goes over a thing.
Yeah. Or a heavy metal band.
Yeah. That's placebo. I think.
Yeah.
So the word I believe for this is misophone. But I don't think that sounds like the word it should be either, because
but that's why it would be weird if it did sound like it, because it's descriptive. So actually, weirdly, it's onomatopoeic in meaning.
Oh my God.
Because it doesn't sound like it should.
You know the bit in Inception where the building's suddenly going the wrong way. Let's get out of this tailspin before our minds are fried.
This is an interesting one. I'd be interested to see if we agree on this. Why do MPs still get paid so much? They're not putting up the minimum wage. They should lead by example. If cuts are going on elsewhere, they should cut their own benefits first. Essentially,
that's not a benefit. Everything that person said is wrong.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. I think the question, why do MPs still get paid so much, is a reasonable question. But let us debunk.
It's not a lot.
Question.
I'm sorry, it's not a lot for a job where you have to basically suck balls for fucking years to get
Smelly
there,
balls.
and then you could lose your job because Matt Hancock got one off the wrist from his secretary, right? There's not, and I'm sorry, I know that like £89,000 is not an insignificant sum of money, but for that level of responsibility and for all the shit that you get, all the hate that you get, and when they say the minimum wage hasn't gone up, it has, and it's gone up a lot, and then they call it a benefit. It's not a benefit.
Yeah.
If you another way you could just say is I really don't like politicians, but I think personally, I think it should be like 5 times what it is.
I've never seen you get quite so animated and annoyed by someone.
Well, it should be 300 grand a year.
Well, okay. Now, this is why I do believe that you're wrong. I think it should be a job that people aspire to have. I think you should be paid handsomely. There should be an assumption that these guys are going to try and do the job as best as they can, and therefore they should be rewarded handsomely. I was trying to work out what they should get paid. And I think £120,000 after tax would be what you should pay. So
that would be about 180.
I guess so.
Net.
Or, weirdly, this is a bit of a curveball, £120,000 that is untaxed. And therefore they are not have anything to do with the tax system, and therefore the tax system doesn't affect them.
Well, do you think your mate there is going to
I don't think they'd like it.
If they don't pay tax, there'll be people at the gates of Westminster.
All on one proviso.
What's that?
They are not allowed to earn any money any other money outside investments, let's say, whilst they are there. Because I think if you're if you're taking home 10 grand a month, I'm sorry, that's enough for fucking anybody. Anybody. And if it's not enough,
well, it's not. But
fuck off.
But that's an ideological view, not for somebody that wants to have more nice stuff.
Well, then don't go into politics.
Then you get worse quality people.
Not like bad human beings. 180 grand a year. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just a brutal reality of life. If you look at a university dean.
So you'd pay them £250,000 a year, would you?
Right, a university dean. When I did the documentary I did about university, some of those pricks are getting paid like £600,000-700,000 a year. So that's a university dean. That's not really even. We're not even going that far into the private sector there. What MPs pay, the job has got way harder. Once upon a time, you go and do the morning rounds, and you'd sit there and say, well, this is what's happening, you'll shut up, don't ask me any more questions. Now they have to do GB News, they have to go and talk, they have to go on fucking podcasts, and there are people out there that want to hurt them. I honestly think the job has got 3 times as bad to do in 15 years. So I think we should be paying them more. And I don't mind them having second jobs because they've got other expertise.
I just think if you're serious about representing your constituency, or if you're serious about, reaching even higher office, then money shouldn't necessarily be a motivation. And as long as you're getting paid well, you shouldn't have time to be sitting on a board of directors.
You're not going to get very dynamic people. You're going to get nice people. And is that definitely the way to get things done?
Nice people getting paid well who are concentrating on their work as an MP. I think that's about right.
Can I just say, I reckon in the comments, 1% of people will be on my side at this point. I think, it might even
weirdly, we're on the same side, but you've just gone too far with your $250,000 bullshit.
But that's what they get paid for being an MEP.
That's fucking Europe. We're out of that shit.
Yeah, it's a gravy.
You voted for us to get rid of that.
It's a gravy train. Fucking, we're better off out.
Well,
oh my God,
Pale Rider.
I'm going to get battered.
No, Pale Rider. I feel like you came in for a bit of a slaughtering there, mate. It was a reasonable question, but he was not happy with it. I think you're wrong, but I'm a bit nicer about it.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I don't dislike you as a person. I just think that everything you said was wrong.
Should we lighten it up with a bit of this is a show busy question? Yeah. We haven't really spoken too much about movies the last couple of weeks, so I thought here's a movie question. Yeah. In your view, what's the best film ever made, and what's the film you've watched the most?
It's so hard. Best film ever made. One film that I always watch once a year. Yeah, there's The Truman Show. I don't know what it is about that film, but every sort of 5 years or so, there's a new meaning given to it. Once upon a time, it was kind of prescient about reality TV, and it's gone through all of that stage. And now it's kind of like ahead of influencer culture when you get his wife looking mental, recommending coffee beans while he's smashing up the joint. And so and then I showed it to my son, and like he still quotes parts of it back to me, and he's 10 years old.
So it registered with him as a
totally made sense. I suppose
there is something ageless about it, because also it felt actually at the time that within his world there was sort of a 50s era feel to it, and therefore actually things that are set in eras don't date as badly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's a utopian feel to it. It's also something that I think everyone, when they first have their first existential or arrogant thought, like, maybe I'm actually like the main character. And so I think that happens particularly with young boys quite early.
Yeah, I think we've all had that Truman Show. You go, is this...
Am I the main guy here?
Yeah.
Am I the main character? So the Truman Show might be... I don't know if it's both of those things. I mean, I love Star Wars, but in terms of Star Wars, my stock market for Star Wars goes up and down, so it could be any given film at any point. I also loved Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which weirdly is another Jim Carrey film.
A little bit.
What, you mean an intelligent film?
Well, it was not that intelligent.
Mary Poppins, fuck, I forgot.
I'm so glad you said that. I love Mary Poppins. Did you watch Mary Poppins Returns, and did you enjoy it? I loved it.
Didn't mind it. Too long.
I was really not expecting anything, and some of the music...
The place where the lost things go?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
A cover is not the book. I love that one. Have you remember that one?
What?
The cover is not the book, so open it up and take a look. It's when they're having it's a cartoony bit.
I mean, it was no Chim Chimney, I'll say that much.
But it's up there. I'm so glad you said Mary Poppins. I think it is wonderful.
It's perfect. Also, it's a brilliant Easter film. There's a good question. What is a good Easter film? Because there's a resurgence, a rebirth element to it.
I always thought I fancied Julie Andrews.
Oh, right, totally.
I thought it was Julie Andrews that I fancied. And then I went to see Mary Poppins the musical on stage, because I got freebies, I didn't pay for it. And there's a bit where she's doing supercalifragilistic, and just out of nowhere, whoever's playing it, there's this dance move, and she just suddenly goes, whoa, like that is part of the thing. And every time she did it, I was like, oh, it's not Julie Andrews, it's Mary Poppins that I fancy.
It's a strong, charismatic woman, a beautiful woman. There's not much to like,
just
really.
A little bit spit spot.
Yeah, exactly. But she's funny as well. She's a very funny person, and she's sort of quietly in control. There's a lot about Mary Poppins I love. One thing that when I watch that film as I get older, though, I do sort of, with my capitalist head on, look at Mr. Banks and go, what was he getting wrong in the first place? Like
typical.
No, but he's like, he's doing a good job. He's got a big house. He's got like servants, and you kind of go, all his family are pissing about. If you don't stop fucking about, maybe things would work
better.
And the
bloody wife, trying to become a suffragette. It's like, oh, for Christ's sake, that's going to go nowhere, love.
That's not going to happen. And she's like an Islington mother. Going for
yummy
fucking like hot yoga. It's effectively Jane and Michael acting up, little shits. I just felt like I did appreciate Mary Poppins in it, but at the end, the guy, he resigns his job. Now, yes, he does get offered like a bigger job. That's not what really happened, though, is it? If there was a real sequel to Mary Poppins, it's about destitution.
Or he's just opened up a small business.
Yeah.
Just the idea of Mary Poppins, that would be the only time I would maybe have an affair. Oh no, Tom ended up banging the nanny. Yeah, but it was Mary Poppins. Come on,
imagine what she's got in that bag.
Very quickly, mine would be the most watched film I've ever watched would be Back to the Future, and I adore it and I love it. And what's weird is it doesn't date for the same reason that because it's about eras.
Yeah.
So even with the 80s bit of it, where you go, well, the special effects are a bit dodgy. You go, no, it's an 80s special effect, and therefore it keeps it in. It just doesn't date. I just love it. Although it took me many years to work out how actually weird it is that there's a major plot point where to get home, he has to try and fuck his own mum. Which you never quite, as a kid, you go, oh God, that is mad.
Well, that is like, when you had a sleepover with your mate to go, right, get this, would you fuck your own mum to get back to your original timeline?
Or suck your dad off. Best movie ever made, 2001 A Space Odyssey. I won't hear anything else about that. Are we done?
I was trying to tell my son about 2001 A Space Odyssey. I say, like, the beginning's great. Like I prefer Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. So on that
was a weird one because I took my mum to see that, and the first 20 minutes I was going, oh, we're going to watch a serious science fiction, and then because I hadn't seen any trailers, and then suddenly this rock monster was there, and you go, oh, it's a kids' film.
Yeah,
it started off really kind of like, oh, this could be. Lovely stuff.